The storm raged that night. Rain lashed down, and wind howled through the ancient trees. Deep in the German wilderness, something was stirring. Suddenly the forest floor trembled, and a great groaning sound echoed. It wasn't thunder. It was the earth itself, giving up a long-held secret. A local hiker seeking shelter stumbled upon it the next morning. A gaping hole had appeared. This was no animal burrow. This was something else entirely. He peered cautiously into the gloom. Jagged earth and roots framed an opening. Below he saw something dark. Something unnatural. It looked like concrete. Man-made steps disappeared into the blackness. A shiver ran down his spine. This wasn't just a hole. It felt like a doorway to a forgotten time. What could possibly be hidden so deep? He knew he had to report this. This felt big. News spread like wildfire in the small nearby village. Soon, a small team of local historians arrived. They were armed with flashlights and a sense of trepidation. They knew the legends, stories of hidden wartime structures. But this looked disturbingly real. They cleared more debris, and the structure became clearer. It was definitely a bunker. Old, very old. You could almost feel the history radiating from it. Then, they saw it. Etched into the heavy rusted metal of a massive door, a symbol that sent chills down everyone's spine, a faded but unmistakable swastika. There was no doubt now, this was a Nazi bunker, sealed for decades. What horrors or what incredible secrets had it been guarding all this time? The air grew heavy. The real expedition was about to begin. We had to know what was inside. This incredible find wasn't in just any forest, it was deep within the dense, almost impenetrable Harz Mountains, a place already steeped in folklore and mystery. For centuries locals whispered tales of hidden pathways and wartime activities. But concrete proof was always elusive. Until now, that is. This region was remote, difficult to access, perfect for hiding something you didn't want found. It makes you wonder what else is out there. The team that made the initial approach was a dedicated group, not high-tech treasure hunters. These were passionate local historians and a few amateur archaeologists, people who truly loved their region's past. They had been chasing rumors for years, sifting through old records, interviewing elderly residents. They believed something was out there. Their persistence was about to pay off, big time. This was the discovery of a lifetime for them. How did they pinpoint this exact spot? It was a mix of old clues and new tech. An old tattered map from a soldier's diary. It hinted at a special construction. They also found a faded photograph. It showed officers near an unusual rock formation. The team used ground-penetrating radar. For weeks they scanned the area, and then bingo, a significant anomaly, right where the diary suggested. It was a long shot, but it worked. The final moments before the discovery were intense. The radar showed something large, something metallic, buried deep. They had to get permission to dig, of course, it took time. But finally they broke ground. They dug carefully for days, then the heavy rains came. The ground, already disturbed, simply gave way, revealing the top of the bunker. It was an astonishing moment, pure luck combined with years of hard work. What a payoff. Getting that massive steel door open was a challenge. It was rusted shut, sealed tight for nearly 80 years. The team brought in specialists. Slowly, painstakingly, they worked on the mechanism. With a final, protesting screech, it gave way. A gust of stale, cold air rushed out. It smelled of damp earth and something else. Something metallic. The darkness inside was absolute. Flashlights cut through the oppressive gloom. They stepped inside, into history. The first chamber was like a command center. Desks were still there, covered in a thick layer of dust. Papers were scattered, some in surprisingly good condition. Old maps lay on a table, detailed maps of the surrounding region and beyond. There were telephones, typewriters, even a coat still hanging on a hook, as if someone had just stepped out. It was eerie, like a ghost ship, but underground. We knew this was just the start. But then, things got really interesting. Beyond the command room, they found the unexpected. Not just piles of weapons or ammunition, though there was some of that. One room was clearly a laboratory. Strange glass beakers and coils of wire, complicated machinery they couldn't identify. Notebooks filled with complex equations and drawings of bizarre devices. What were they working on down here? It was beyond typical wartime research, this was something else. And it didn't stop there. Another room was even more baffling. It contained art supplies, canvases, easels, dried tubes of paint. Why would a secret Nazi bunker need an art studio? Were they forging masterpieces or documenting something? They also found crates filled with carefully packed artifacts, ancient relics it seemed, looted treasures, or something connected to their strange scientific pursuits. Each discovery raised more questions. This bunker was full of unbelievable secrets. So, why does a discovery like this matter so much? It's more than just finding old stuff. These items, these rooms, they paint a new picture, a more detailed picture of a dark time. We often think of the Nazis in terms of their military machine, their armies, their weapons. But this bunker, it hints at other obsessions, strange science, a peculiar interest in art and ancient artifacts. It shows a hidden side, a side we rarely get to see. The laboratory, for instance. What were they really up to? The notes are still being deciphered, but experts believe it could be linked to unconventional weapons, or even more outlandish theories. The art supplies add another layer. Were individuals here expressing themselves? Or was it part of a larger, sinister plan? These finds challenge our understanding. They force us to ask new questions. History is never as simple as we think. There are always more layers. And what about the personal items? The coat on the hook, a forgotten photograph tucked in a drawer. These small things are powerful. They remind us that real people were here, people who made choices, people who were part of this machine. It helps us understand the mindset, not to excuse it of course, but to comprehend how such things could happen. It's a stark reminder from the past, a warning even. Ultimately, this secret bunker is a time capsule. It preserved a moment, a hidden chapter of history. It shows us what they valued in secret, what they were planning away from the battlefields. Discoveries like this are crucial. They prove that the past is never truly buried. There are always secrets waiting to be found, and each one can teach us something vital about where we've been, and perhaps about ourselves. The search always continues.